Hello, this is Mother Nature, back at it again. Hi, Mother Nature here. I'm here to talk to you about cottagecore. Do I have enough flowers in my hair? Asked no one ever. Hey guys, it's Clover. Welcome to my room. Today I wanted to talk about cottagecore. Its history. What does it mean? Why are humans so into it? It's been around for like at least a good solid year now. If you're on any social media, you've probably seen something referencing cottagecore, or if you haven't, maybe you're old enough like me to remember the days of Morikei or Mori girl style, but we'll get into that. How does one become the cottage? Cottagecore is an internet aesthetic that celebrates a return to traditional skills and crafts such as foraging, baking, pottery, and is related to a similar nostalgic aesthetic movement such as grandmacore, farmcore, goblincore, and fairycore. Don't get me started on fairycore. Actually, don't get me started on goblincore. According to its proponents, the ideas of cottagecore can help satisfy a popular desire for an aspirational form of nostalgia as well as an escape from many forms of stress and trauma. And we are all definitely going through many forms of stress and trauma these days. Is it something you can buy on a shelf? Can you wear it? What if I'm bad at baking? Can I be cottagecore then? No, you can't. Sorry. Just, you can't. I discovered the cottagecore hashtag through a friend. I realized it, I won't go on this tangent quite yet, we'll get there, but I realized it totally reminded me of Morikei, so I went ahead and followed it and got tons of pictures of frogs, cute cottages, cabins, woodsy, flowery, cute pictures. I was like, dang, oh, this is such a good hashtag. I love this hashtag. Oh, it's cute. I think that people have always been kind of drawn to aesthetics like witchy vibes, forests, quaint cottages, crystals, delicious baked goods, fruit picked fresh from the garden, cozy areas, be it indoor or outdoor, cute forest animals, etc., etc. And with the pandemic, people had plenty of time to discover this hashtag, search out nature, the outdoors, a more simple life. They had time to admire these aesthetics while in the comfort of their own home. For some, it just enhanced your desire to live out in nature and get away from your shitty apartment that like you can't even really customize or do much with because the landlord says you can't install anything that's going to be a permanent fixture. Anyway, so as I learned more about cottagecore, I realized that lolitas were kind of doing something similar from the start. Maybe after some of the rough and tumble old school days of lolita. Lolitas have always valued things like dressing beautifully, being in nature, going on picnics, going to beautiful houses, locations, mostly for photo shoots, appreciating nature and art. We really did it all. Although we have the appreciation for nature and everything, I think lolitas, or people who do more lifestyle lolita, they appreciate more of like a rich aesthetic, so kind of royal, regal, a dreamy past life. And you have a handsome rococo butler who tended to you and your friends' every need, fed you macarons and set up your high tea, and you gazed out into your garden. Just nice. I think even some other lolitas in my com would say they appreciate the aesthetic of cottagecore. The distinction between the two. Cottagecore gets away from like the rich, structured aesthetics and focuses more on like a natural vibe, feeling dreamy and like walking through a beautiful meadow. Like it's just a dream. Like it's just a beautiful foresty dream. Maybe you just own like one goat or like a pig mostly because it's cute, not because you're gonna eat him. Cottagecore baked good wouldn't look like a rococo, like fancy high tea lolita baked good. You couldn't present it to royalty, but you know it would be so delicious. It's not as luxurious and fancy as a lot of lolita things tend to be, but it is still luxurious because not all of us just have property, land to grow vegetables and fruits and have animals to take care of, or much less the time to even do that, the time to take care of animals, grow crops, do pottery, whatever it is. What if I don't have a farm? What if I don't like eating fruits and vegetables? Can I still be cottagecore? No. No, you can't. Something I learned completely independently from cottagecore, I had a kick of like learning about Marie Antoinette, Versailles. I watched this really long documentary on Versailles. I watched the series Versailles. I just got really into it. Their customs were so structured and rigid. It kind of reminded me of like old Japanese customs, like super rigid. You had to learn all these intricacies and nuances of hierarchies of people, and the way they dress were so cool and But something I learned was that Marie Antoinette, what I first thought was like a small cottage kind of a thing, like built for her. Like she just dropped the money on it. She wanted it to be like a traditional French farm, you know, complete with like little pens for animals and stuff. I thought it was like one building. No, she built an entire like hamlet or like an entire mini village off to the side of Versailles. So she lived in like the most decked out of decked out palaces, but what she really wanted was just a little quaint farm. If that doesn't say cottagecore to you, I don't know what does. You have so many like great modern amenities, technology, but we're just like, let's live in the forest and grow a strawberry. Yeah, she was probably just flexing and doing like what other royal people were doing at the time. A part of me feels like she also just idealized a more simple life, because again, she lived in a very structured, stressful environment, and she's like, what if I could just go run in the field in my cute milkmaid dress? Like, I get it. Before cottagecore was even a twinkle in someone's eyeball, we had the term Morikei, or Mori girl. In 2006, there was a community called Mori Girl, and it was created in a Japanese social network called Mixi, which I've not ever heard of, but that was the thing that existed. The name Mori Girl was chosen by like the manager or maybe like the mod of this little community. Mori means forest. Here's the kanji for it. The kanji for forest in Japanese is literally just tree, but 3 times, so there you go. I remember it being about the clothes. It was always focused on just kind of what you wore, like mildly lifestyle. For the most part, it was just like fashion based. Lots of layers, lots of cream colors. I remember someone describing Morikei as like, you should look like an onion with all of the layers, thin layers of clothing that you put on. That was Morikei starting in 2006, and then just recently in the past year or two, like in 2019 or so, we have cottagecore, and I feel like it definitely focuses on lifestyle more. Like, yeah, you can wear like cute stuff, but it's what you do, and it's where you live, and it's what you eat. So many baked goods. Can I live off cookie milk coffee? How does one make effortless? I like frogs. Am I cottagecore now? So, I have to bring up TikTok because TikTok has definitely helped people discover cottagecore. You're able to make a video of you making your cookie coffee milk drink, or a video of you at the farm picking your veggies and like petting your goat. You're able to share that. Again, it's more lifestyle. There's a cottagecore hairstyle videos I found. It's a lot of like natural hair and like braids and stuff. I have to bring up Animal Crossing as well because I feel like the two went a little bit hand in hand. So the newest Animal Crossing, if you played it, it's about living on an island, getting resources from the land, like building your home, decorating your home, talking to all your animal friends. That's totally fitting. It idealized the rural life, or like the farm life, or living off the land. However, Animal Crossing made it more accessible for people. You could be at home in your shitty ass apartment, and then you're playing, you're on an island, you're fishing, you're picking flowers, you're getting that experience, but you're not getting your hands dirty, or you're not like paying for that property. It just allowed people to kind of access the idea of that lifestyle. It's understandable why people buckling under the stress of current events would want to be whisked away into one where the only responsibilities are taking care of livestock and making sure your bread doesn't burn. Reverting back to an uncomplicated life of picking fruits and fishing at the river, those basic things make sense when much of the world today is confusing. There's a sense of control when it comes to the simple pleasures of cottagecore. And for people who hate cottagecore, that's fine. I like don't even care. But I think what's important is to remember that cottagecore is like the Instagram version of farm life. You're only being shown the beautiful things, that you're missing out on like the laborious work, getting your hands dirty in the field, sweating through your clothes, like when you're going on a hike in the forest. Like, they're conveniently leaving all that part out. The people who have a problem with these realities are the only ones who will feel disillusioned or let down somehow by cottagecore. For the ones that like to get our hands dirty from planting our flowers and veggies, we can embrace the aesthetic a bit more. If cottagecore only makes you think of how your life sucks and how it would be perfect if you could just move into a little cottage with your cute fairy girlfriend, you might need to take a step back from it and try to appreciate what you have. Easier said than done. If you're getting disillusioned by a hashtag that's feeding you the same images over and over, like, you know, just check yourself. Are you able to bring elements of whatever you think cottagecore is into your life? And does that make you happy? Then good, and keep doing it, you know? Keep making your homemade bread and grow a little flower in your windowsill, even if you do have a shitty apartment. Find those moments of bringing nature and simplicity into your life. That's how I'm taking it. And also, I like to look at pretty pictures. Realistically, no, I don't think my life would be better if I lived in a cottage in the forest. It would just be my life now, but I'm in a forest. Like, however, from cottagecore, I'll learn recipes or maybe some aesthetic or design ideas, and maybe I'll take that with me. If it's bringing something to your life that makes you happy, like, don't let anyone shit on that. You keep wearing your flower crown. Thank you so much for joining me in this miniature deep dive into cottagecore, Morikei, Lolita fashion, a little bit of French history. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. I want to say hello to my newest supporter, Mary. She's actually in my local comm, so hi! I haven't seen you in so long. Hello. Bye.